Hey guys, it's Tom with Clean Pro Supply. Welcome to the second in our series of videos meant to serve as an introduction to the restoration industry. These are videos kind of geared more towards people who are either new to the industry, thinking about getting into the industry, or people who are maybe struggling with their restoration business or career, or anybody who just wants to learn something new. So today we are going to be talking about what to expect when you get into the restoration industry. And there are some things that set it apart from other industries. First off, it is a truly 24/7 industry. It doesn't sleep. It's like the fire department. Stuff is going to happen at all hours of the night and day, and the customers are going to expect you to show up. That's it. Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, holidays, weekends, your birthday, your kid's birthday, your grandma's birthday, your anniversary, the phone is still going to ring. There's still going to be calls. And if you can't show up right away, if a call comes in at midnight and you try to say, I'll be there during normal business hours tomorrow, you're probably going to lose that job because customers oftentimes just want whomever can get there first. Sometimes they're not very picky, especially when they're in that frantic, oh no, my house is flooded phase. So they really just want somebody to get there right away. And if you can't get there fast enough, they'll call somebody else. I've many times had a customer call and say, how quickly can you be here? And I know they're also calling other companies and asking that same question. Whoever can get there first is basically getting the job. I've gotten many jobs before by saying I could be there in 30 minutes. But sometimes that's just, luck of the draw. It just happens to be a little bit closer to my house. Anyhow, it is a truly 24/7 business. 24/7 business. And, a lot of the calls are going to come in bursts based on the weather. If you get really, really heavy rain, you're going to get a lot of flooding. All the calls are going to come in at the same time. They might be in the same general vicinity. In the summertime, you tend to get a lot of fire-related calls when it's hot and dry. Around, the winter, if it gets really cold and you get a long period of time where it's freezing and below 20 degrees, you're going to get a bunch of pipe burst related calls and things like that. So it does tend to kind of come in spurts. But I will say this, get used to drinking energy drinks and eating more gas station food than you ever thought you would ever be comfortable with. It's kind of the nature of the industry. Another thing to expect, it's dirty. You're going to be around sewage, mold, hoarders. You think, oh yeah, water, it's going to be a clean thing. I'm going to be extracting water. Oh, no. And you're going to go into all sorts of homes. In the morning, you might be in this multi-million-dollar beautiful mansion overlooking some scenic vista. And then in the afternoon, you're in the worst ghetto trailer you could imagine, where they're hoarding animals and, they're raising pigeons and there's a garbage can filled with human feces. These are things that I have legitimately seen. Not all of them in the same house, but this is all stuff that I've seen in people's houses. So you're going to go into a lot of gross places. It's sort of the nature of the job. A lot of times our job is to clean up that gross stuff. So get used to it. You're going to wear a lot of PPE. You spend a lot of time in a Tyvek suit, and those are hot and uncomfortable because you can't sweat through it. It's keeping other liquids from going in, but it's also keeping your sweat from leaving. So it's hot. And you wear a respirator. It's just not always comfortable, but it's part of the job. So another thing, and this is probably one of the biggest things about the industry, is that you are going to be working with insurance quite a bit. Even if you're not working with them directly, you don't work for the insurance company, you work for the homeowner. We all know who is paying the bill on a lot of these jobs. So no matter what, your customer is the homeowner or property owner. But typically, in most cases, insurance is paying the bill. So that means even though you have to work for the customer, you also have to an extent, kind of help them to get paid by the insurance company. It's part of the service that most restoration companies provide. Some paperwork and documentation and stuff to help the insurance pay the homeowner so that they can pay you. Because if they don't get paid by the insurance, a lot of times they don't have the cash to pay you. So you're screwed. And unfortunately, no matter how happy the customer is with the quality of your work, if the insurance is paying, the insurance also has to be on board, which means there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of documentation that the insurance companies expect. And again, the homeowner is always your customer, not the insurance company. Your job is to keep the homeowner happy, but the homeowner is also going to be a lot happier if they don't have to pay you out of pocket because the insurance covered it. So it's sort of a delicate balance that you're always trying to strike there. There's going to be a ton of paperwork. There's some specialty software, programs like Xactimate, Encircle, Mika, Drybook, things like that. These are all industry-specific programs, some for estimating, some for job site documentation, and they become very important when you're trying to communicate with the insurance companies because you're essentially going to be asked to prove, to show what's your scope of work, what happened, and what do you have to do to fix it. And then you have to sort of justify why you have to do all that stuff. And then you have to demonstrate that you actually did all the stuff that you were supposed to do. And then at the end, you have to show that it was effective. And it sounds simple, but it's really not. There's a lot of kind of arguing back and forth with insurance adjusters to one extent or another, or giving the homeowner information so the homeowner can do that arguing on your behalf, however you choose to approach it. It is just part of the industry. There's a lot more to it than just setting up dehumidifiers and cutting out drywall. And sometimes insurance companies can take a long time to pay. Don't be surprised if you end up waiting 90 days to get paid after having completed a job, or longer sometimes for some big or complex jobs. I've worked on very large jobs where it's taken over 6 months to get paid. And in some big jobs, after hurricanes and things like that, you have like FEMA involved. It gets way complicated. So the hardest part of the job, honestly, is probably, it's not the poop and the sewage and the gross stuff at 2 a.m. It's dealing with the insurance companies. If you ask anybody in restoration about the industry, they're probably going to say, yeah, it really sucks dealing with insurance. And they're not wrong. It can be very challenging. It's just part of the job. It sucks to have to argue with insurance adjusters and go back and forth and basically be called a liar, or maybe outright be called a liar or a scammer or something like that, because you're saying that this scope of work is what needs to be done, and the insurance is saying, you didn't really need to do any of that. Mold isn't real, is it? Like, of course they know that mold is real. They know that this is a thing, but they're going to give you a hard time because they don't want to pay. It sucks. Additionally, every job is a little bit different. You're going to have different sources of loss, pipe burst versus a sewage backup versus a supply line leak. So many different sources, so many different property types, be it condos, mobile homes, apartments, new construction, old construction. You're going to have different areas affected, different types of damage. Sometimes they called you right away. Other times, for some reason, they waited 2 weeks. Different insurance companies and different homeowners. So different homeowner preferences and expectations. It makes every job very challenging. Every job is very different. And it makes it hard initially to really learn the industry because every job is so different. Without that, it's not like every job is the same every day. So that lack of standardization makes it hard to learn. And, even if it was all the same, if you need help, who are you going to ask for help? You go to the internet. And most restoration networking online tends to happen on Facebook. And we all know how reliable information from Facebook is. Not so much. So it can be really challenging. You ask a question on Facebook, you're going to get 10 different answers. And hopefully one of those answers is the right one. But it does make it challenging. I always say it takes about 6 months to become moderately competent at restoration, which it seems like it should be a really basic thing. Should be simple and straightforward, but it's not, especially with the complexity added from the insurance companies and all that stuff. So it takes time to learn to do it really, really well. It's just kind of part of the job. So the big takeaways here, it can be gross. It's 24/7, and you're going to work with a lot of insurance companies, and it's going to be a constant pain until you get your process really down well and you learn to document things really well to kind of present what you need to paint the appropriate picture for the insurance companies to help you get paid faster. There's some contract stuff you can do that helps to speed it up, but at the end of the day, it's a little bit of a struggle. It's probably the hardest part. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Come back next. Our next video is going to be about starting a restoration company. Should you do a franchise? ServPro, ServiceMaster, Restoration 911, Bell 4, 1-800 Water Damage, one of those big pre-existing companies? Should you buy a franchise, or should you start your own independent company? They both have their own pros and cons, so we'll talk about that. Please tune in and check out our website, www.cleanprosupply.com. It has everything you need to start and run your restoration company. We've got equipment, chemicals, consumables, parts. If you happen to be near one of our 4 store locations, we do service. So if you have equipment issues, you can bring it in and get serviced. We even sell vans on our website now, and we finance them as well. So if you want to start a restoration company, you're going to need a vehicle. You're going to need something to extract water. You're going to need something, some dehumidifiers, some air movers. We've got all that stuff. So check it out. All right, guys, that's it for me. I hope business is going well if you're already in the industry. And if not, well, welcome. All right, guys, take care. Bye.